You need to focus less on becoming and trying to be the person that you want to be and start being that person now. Because the trick of this whole conscious thing and being alive is that whatever you hold within your identity to be true is true. In other words, whatever the subconscious mind believes to be true is true. And what does the subconscious mind listen to? The subconscious mind listens to your strong, emotionally charged thoughts. It listens to all the times when you're growing up, you're told this, this, and this, and you're told to believe this about the world. Now, see, the problem with this is that you're supposed to make your own view of the world, but society, family, has their own impression, and everyone is just living off of their own idea of what life is. And so naturally, people project their own ideas of life onto us. And that's how a lot of shadows are formed. That's how generational trauma is formed. And that's how familial patterns is formed. Is the idea of life that a parent carries is also going to be shadowed onto the kid. So what your goal in life is to spot out that narrative and change and grow and become the next version of yourself, leaving behind the old identity. So stop trying to become the person that you want to be and simply become the person. What I practice a lot is a continuous growth mindset, a continuous knowing that I am constantly learning, I'm constantly adapting, I'm constantly becoming better. And this is different from being the best of the best right now. Because I don't necessarily want to be the best of the best. I want to continuously learn and be humble to everyone around me. Because it's you can say you're the best of the best in the way of like you can adapt your frequency to anything. That's okay. But if you say you're just the number one person with the number one thoughts, then you isolate yourself from the rest of God's creation. And this is why I can get into it. Organized religion is a crime against humanity. Organized religion isolates us from the rest of society. Whenever everyone, see, the thing with God is that God creates the evil, God creates the good, God will take away, and God will give. God is impersonal, and all of the minds, all the subconscious that live here in God's mind, that live in this universal consciousness, every single thing here is a part of just that, the universal mind, the universal intelligence. So whatever your reality is reflecting out to God, out to the whole, that is what's going to come back at you, because you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. You are a universe within a universe. You experience your own universe. Your awareness and how you perceive things and how you experience things and your reactions to things and your beliefs and your identity, that's a universe within itself. Everyone else has their own universe, the way that they see things. Because, I mean, you could have two people, they see the same event happen, and they react to it in a completely different way. One is positively affected by it because they see it like, oh, it's a stock market crash, it's a great time to buy in. Versus another person, oh, it's a stock market crash, I'm going to lose all my money, I'm going to lose my job, everything's going to go to shit. You're always able to spin something to make it work for you. It doesn't matter what's right or wrong. There is no right or wrong here. What you make of it, what you make of life is what is correct. And when it comes to, if you're worried about the afterlife, you're concerned about the afterlife, we're always with God. We're always with God. We're never separated from God. Even though some people may argue that we are separated from God, we are not separated from God, because every single thing is a part of God's creation, and you can never be truly separated from God. I've heard a near-death experience story where someone reported that they went to hell, and they simply called out to God, called out to some angel. They said, "Save me," and immediately they were brought to a better place. And they ended up coming back alive. And the doctors brought him back. But it's about what you perceive things to be. So whenever you die, whatever you carry within your heart to the afterlife, that is what you are going to carry into the afterlife. The way that you perceive things remains. And that's why in the Bible it says, bring heaven to you before you find heaven. First, you must find heaven, which is within and without. Mostly within. Focus on finding heaven within. But first you find heaven, and then everything else follows, because the subconscious, you can relate it to heaven exactly, one-on-one. Whatever is in heaven, as it is on earth, whatever is in man's heart, that's exactly what it is. As man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And because whatever you think in your heart is true, your experience of things will be and react the same way. So this gets me into the philosophy of self-improvement and becoming a better person. What you need to hold within your heart is actually the identity of the person who is good, who is happy, who isn't chasing all these things and trying to become something else. Because what does chasing do? Chasing tells the universe that you do not have. Chasing, desperation, a deep, deep desire, even an obsession, tells the universe that you do not have. I'm not going to say that obsessing over something is bad. A lot of the time it is bad, but whenever you are chasing a goal, obsession can sometimes be one of your best friends, because we go through these phases of expansion and contraction, where while you expand outward, you should be chasing. You should be trying to achieve a bunch of different things. And then you go back into your contraction phase where you actually become you. You stop chasing. You stop trying to do all these things, and you just become. You simply be is a better word. You self-reflect. You ask yourself, maybe, what am I doing wrong? What is this? What is that? But you be at peace in these moments. And then at that time of contraction, you come back out like a phoenix rising from the ashes, right on the aligned path that you were supposed to take, because your subconscious, it saw exactly what you wanted. It saw that you were chasing all of these goals, this money, a certain relationship, a certain status, a job, promotion. Your subconscious sees that you're chasing this, but while you're in that expansion phase, you're not meant to attain. Sometimes you are. It's true. Sometimes you do achieve crazy goals while you're in that expansion phase. But whenever you go back into the contraction phase, that is whenever you surrender. That is whenever you accept what you have right now. And God often puts you, because you've become complete, whole and complete within yourself. You're like, you know what? It's all right. I see what I have, and that's okay. Whenever you become whole and complete and you stop chasing, that's whenever you get what you want. So often in my life, whenever I stopped trying so hard, whenever I stopped trying to be something and do everything right, everything worked out for me. And the reason for that is because I became magnetic. You need to become magnetic in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Becoming magnetic can be tricky. You need to get into the flow state first. You need to get into the process where you simply trust yourself, where you can look at fear straight in the eye and you're unfazed by it. Because what we do as humans is we cope with fear. We avoid things that we don't want to do, and we end up self-sabotaging because of it. And that's because we're scared of failure. That's because we're scared of what might go wrong. But whenever you're chasing something and trying to do it in a certain way because you're scared of failure, you're actually attracting more of that failure, because you're telling the subconscious, look, I don't have it right now, but I want it. Now, like I said, sometimes in those expansion phases, in the chasing phases, you can attain great things. I'm not going to say that you can't, but the expansion phases are truly meant for you to chase and be something that you're not. So you train the subconscious, you train your comfort zone to expand outward, expand towards improvement, expand towards progress. Because the last thing that you want to do is be stuck in between the expansion and contraction phase. You don't want to be like here, just like anxious and stressed and worried. Like, should I take a nap right now? Should I go introspect, or should I go chase and follow my dreams? If you don't know what to do, you should chase and follow your dreams, because a lot of the time when you don't know what to do, it's because you have a lack of purpose. And what you need is purpose. So just do something, do anything. It could be writing, it could be drawing, could be learning an instrument, anything. Before I started this whole content creation stuff, I would just write. I would write philosophy, I would write poems. But you should be able to look at fear in the eyes with this straight face. You don't cringe, you don't go, I don't want to have any of that. You look at it straight in the face and you're neutral towards it. You feel nothing towards it. You stop letting it control your emotions. Stop trying to make it make you happy. Stop trying to make it work for you. Stop trying to control it. Stop being scared of it. Just look at it and be neutral towards it. Because that neutrality that you hold towards fear will allow you to break outside of your comfort zone and do all of the things that you've secretly been avoiding that have been holding you back. You need to simply be able to just look in the face of failure and not give a damn what ends up happening. And that's been the story of my life. Whenever I just stopped caring about if I failed, if I stopped caring if I won, I stopped caring if anything worked right for me, and everything just started working. Because that's the magnetic state. That's the authentic self. You simply trust yourself so much, you know yourself so well, you know that everything is working for you, everything is in its right direction. You feel complete before the world shows you completion, and then the world will show you completion. You don't wait for the world to show you what you want to have and then you feel good. You feel good before the world shows you that. Because the physical giving you things, the physical world around you, if it shows you something good, it might be a cause for happiness, but it's not sustainable happiness. Nothing the physical world can give you is actual sustainable happiness and completion. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video is that I just tried to stay in a state of improvement, a state of continuous growth where I'm learning from my mistakes, where I'm learning from my past self, my past identity. Whenever you do that, you tap into this flow-like state where you're just growing and you're just moving. And most of all, you're letting the negative emotions pass through you. You're letting them go. You're not holding on to this fear of failure. You're not holding on to this fear of not being right. You're not holding on to this stuff. It's like I was saying earlier, you just look at it straight on and are unfazed by it. And from there, you just let that shit flow. Because emotions are like water. Emotions is energy in motion, as I've always heard. And since it's energy in motion, it wants to move. Energy is like spirits, and your thoughts and beliefs are spirits. You don't have your beliefs have you. You're the one that is confined by your own beliefs. So what do you need to do? You need to raise yourself up and become closer with God, because God has an unlimited standard. God is unlimited. God is infinite. And once you tap into that, once you tap into God's frequency, you realize you are unlimited, and you see the how short-lived everything is, and the trying to hold on to what upsets you is just so utterly pointless. And you just live presently in this moment, feeling good, feeling detached, feeling separate from the external circumstances that you usually say oh, this is my life. Because that's not your life. Your life is inside of you. Your life is happening inside you. Your life isn't happening around you, it's happening inside of you. And your experience of it is what your life is. Now you could get even deeper into this and say that our mind isn't even our life. Our actual life is the observation of our mind. It's the observation of the world around us. It's the observation of what's going on internally. Because we have that internal voice, but who's watching? Who's listening to that voice? You got a voice in your head that's talking, but where is the awareness of that voice coming from? You can't say that it's you, because you are your thoughts. You are the voice. You. But what's recording the voice? How are we aware of the voice? There's a divine spirit there. There's a divine creative spirit there that is watching everything that you do and say, and it's reflecting it back to you through your own mental state. And then therefore that's being put out into the world, and therefore that world is going to reflect back at you. So the message of this video is that you must become the person that you wish to be before the world shows it to you. Become the successful person that you want to be before the world shows it to you. Right? That's exactly how you do it. And be okay with fear. Be okay with fear. Look at that fear and let it flow through you. Look at that fear and stare at it straight on and perform the task that fear is keeping you away from. Anyway, hope this helps.